Come on, who's me to tell you, boy, do this, do that? You. Who the fuck is you? Me ain't give a fuck. You gotta be ignorant out here. So you can't come and just be more ignorant than them. That's not gonna be anything. Just be the example, and if you want to take it, well, so be it. Well, you know, I think that's something that's happened to us because the people who started off with us, a lot of them are no longer there, but the kids are there.
Yeah. Wow.
And particularly in the Juve, there was a family that used to bring a box cart with little babies in it, and all those babies are now big. But the box cart is still there because other people keep bringing babies. So we have children that have grown up in our band over the last 25 years.
Wow. No, but that's remnants of a bit of tribalism if I'm stand corrected, because when you go to these pygmy village in Africa or Venezuela, it have these tribes that will take their kids from babies and kind of around the fireplace when they're doing the ceremonies and stuff, to imprinting them from young. And that's still happening even up to today in Pan. No, it's only happening in Pan from my observation. No, I hate fucking Pan. I mean, I hate Pan. And that's because of UTT. They card me for Pan, bro. But in Pan, the only people who I know who like Pan, they have a family lineage or heritage. Like the grandfather was in Pan, daddy in Pan.
It's part of your tradition.
It goes back now.
Well, you know, the carnival is built on 3 planks, in a sense: the music, the mass, and the revelry or whatever.
Sex?
Well, no, that is inherent. It's a spring festival, right? So you don't even have to overemphasize that. It's inherent. Sex is, the sap is rising in the tree, as they say, right?
Yeah.
I always say the perfect end to a Juve morning is to go on
That's right.
and then bait off, or
right.
vice versa.
Yeah.
I love this shit.
Yeah, you done money.
It's part of life, you know?
No, because like when I speak to you, I've never had a conversation like this with you, but every time I talk to you, I feel like you're so what's the correct word? Like the king and the queens. Very very well put together, but to hear him say something that is like, yeah, that we're talking about, bro. It's like he coming on with you.
Okay.
I a Belmont boy. So.
That's right.
And they trained me to speak one way, but I've learned to speak another way. So I had to resolve that issue about good English, bad English, and understand it's not his. We speak Trini, and my mother insisted that I speak English. And I earn my living from speaking English, and I've developed the ability to speak Trini and communicate in Trini.
It's not so much the way that you speak, is the fact that you're human, you have different facets to your personality, and I'm now seeing a lot of those shades now.
Well, everybody had to be encouraged to be, I wasn't always as comfortable with myself as I am now.
Right
You'll be
about
surprised,
now,
like most people don't like to be authentic.
A little in-depth look into
Like,
Wendell's life.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Wendell, what's the future for? Because I mean, you have 3 parts of you that I know for sure. I know you personally. I know your personal life. But there's the businessman, which is all the entities that fall under 3CANAL, Black Box. There's you as the vocal artist, and then there's you as the artist. So what is the future for, let's say, the business? Like, what do you all have for Black Box? You're opening a Black Box in South?
Well,
Black Box International?
No, well, you see, we are not megalomaniac, right? We are quite content carving out a little space. But what we are very much prepared to be is an example.
Yeah.
Right? So, for instance, when we came in the game, when we started doing our show, nobody else was doing their show.
Right.
Marshall came and did his show after. Kester came and did his show way after. And this after numerous conversations I would have with fellas like, why you don't sing more all your own music? Why you all singing all these covers? Why you don't do your own show? We just, over years, bounce them up. And I'm always saying, use him and encourage me to do my own show. Well, so be it. I'm glad for that. Yeah. If I could have that impact on the scene, so be it. And as I say, for me, it's by example. So I'm not talking through my, And the whole idea of the commitment to the Juve that has allowed us to, and you compare it to Pan, which is very solid because all those things come from the ground and come out of the yard. You were talking about Laventille earlier on and Belmont, right? And a lot of people don't understand. I always say to people, what happened after emancipation? You're free. Then what?
Gotcha.
What that mean?
Then what?
Freedom is not free.
If you're free, what's the first thing you imagine you would do? Not get up at 4 in the morning and work till 10 in the night?
Yep.
That's number one. So then they say you're lazy. Right? Next thing is, I'm not staying on the plantation. So they leave. And they went to Laventille and these places. They went in the quarries and the crags, which makes that our maroon community. And once you set up a maroon community, you set up a culture that runs counter to the culture. So that culture later became known as the Jamet culture, the Amet culture, below the line, because
Counterculture.
they didn't wish to assimilate with the mainstream culture, right?
Yeah.
And it is so up to today. To this day, that hasn't changed. Now, the irony is that the things that drive the carnival come from that culture,
Yep.
right? But what's driving the contemporary carnival is the merchandising and the marketing and the promoting and the packaging, which comes from the Mardi Gras culture,
Yeah.
the fete culture. So I always tell people, our carnival consists of the contention between the Mardi Gras and the Camboulé, right? And the Juve represents the Camboulé. On the moment of emancipation, the carnival changed, because up until then, it was house to house fetting, grand fetes.
Yeah.
People would dress up. The slaves played their role in preparing the stuff and whatnot. And all this thing about slaves imitating their masters is absolute rank bull, right? These people were not a blank slate that had nothing better to do than say, oh, look, master is dancing, let me make a fucking dance. No.
Yeah.
These people had rich vibrations and cultures, and they had their little secret orders, and they went in the bush and do their thing. Yeah. And they had king and queen and prince and dauphin and all kind of thing. And all these forms emerged on the moment of emancipation. Where they come from? The Jab Molasi and all these things, where they come from? That came straight from the emancipation movement.
No, but I don't think people still believe in that narrative. I would like to think so,
Which
because
narrative?
I mean, look
About
at the
us
Moors.
imitating?
I know the fact that we were imitating our slave masters. I don't believe that people still
Well, that's good
consume
that
that
you
narrative.
don't want to believe it. But
No, because look at the
unfortunately,
Moors.
it
I mean, the
still
Moors
is.
are the one who civilized the whole of Europe. I mean, that's just facts
Yeah.
right there. So, I mean, just by knowing that alone, I mean, common sense would tell you we came from a place that have a rich heritage. It's
No,
not
well,
like we
see, I don't really take comfort in saying that we come from kings and queens and all that bull, you know.
No, not just that. We came from a civilization that had culture, that had structure. That
Yeah,
had,
no, but I talking about what happened when we get here. We're talking about the emergence of a Creole culture, and that's what we
Yeah.
need to focus on.
After the Middle Passage.
Exactly.
What happened after the Middle Passage?
This whole new world, see,
They
Elijah
passed
and
on
say
their
we're the
culture.
first modern people in the world. This whole new world only came to be because of what was happening in the old world, and that it was an economic imperative.
Yep.
But we here came here as factors of economics, right? We didn't
Yeah.
come here as human beings, you know.
Yeah.
We had to find ourselves as human beings in the matrix, and we're still struggling to do so.
So would you say that when we came here, we came with culture, we came with heritage, and
Yeah,
we
of
pass
course.
that on to our kids as best as we can?
Well,
as best as we
you can, because when they do, they separate you, they broke you up, you couldn't speak your language, you couldn't pass on certain things. So we had to make it up. We had to use things to fill the void.
Well,
And the imagination is
I
very
went
strong.
to fill a void because, like, Kester and I were discussing to our next a mentor of ours, like, blood maintains memory for 7 generations.
Well,
So
retention is a very strong thing, but the consciousness is what I'm talking about.
but the instinct is still there. So you
Yes,
can
but
instinctively.
consciousness has to guide.
Yeah.
If you're just instinctively reacting, it is
Or
almost
teaching.
like you're acting on a level of like
Animalism?
Animal, right?
Yeah.
So consciousness has to be put into the matrix.
No, but it has to come out somewhere because, like I said, they were beaten, they were broken. So the message or
But
the
it did
traditions
come
have
out.
to be
It
passed
came
on.
out. It's that we weren't a blank slate. People need
We
to
weren't.
understand we're human beings with impulses and imperatives. It doesn't matter the Africans, the Indians, all these people that were brought here, the Chinese, the Portuguese, they came here to work. They came here to make money for somebody.
Yeah.
And then you now had to come and say, as I said, now I'm free. What am I? What am I? Who am I? Where do I start from?
Do you believe that Rapso and Calypso tells the story?
Absolutely, if we allow it to, and if we
So-
develop the ears to hear it.
So then my following question would be, how do we get the youths more interested in our culture?
Well,
We have
package it properly,
Marketing.
exposure.
Yeah.
Influence begins with exposure. I teach young children. If I'm working on a show right now, we're doing a show called The Long Time Band. David Rudder's Calypso, The Long Time Band.
Yeah.
I played for them the other day. Oh, what's that? They didn't want to hear that.
No.
You think that I letting that stop me?
True.
But it's all about integration and what integrating the culture with. So, for example, Despacito. Despacito is a soca song, but the mere fact that it has been constructed in a way that it's hiding our Caribbean identity and it's a hell of a lot more whitewash. People who don't know themselves and who hate their fucking culture would love it. Hence, Caribbean people, like most people that we know, don't even know that Despacito is a soca song. Far less for the rest of
That's
the
the
songs.
thing to it. Like, imagine guys fighting me and telling me, well, no, Despacito, could never had nothing to do with Trinidad because that's Puerto Rico.
Yeah.
But then when you go on Puerto Rico websites, they'll tell you that the music was influenced by Calypso.
Of course, Calypso.
And then you would see right after Despacito, he would follow up with a song named Calypso. And everybody just quiet now. Like,
you hear
so,
Angelique Kidjo's last new song?
no?
It's pure Calypso. And guess what, Angelique? Before she made that song, who she was working with? Calypso Rose.
Yeah.
Right? There's a few degrees of separation in the music world,
Yeah.
But you have to be committed and true to your vibe. And people will respect that. And once you're not trying to be too imitative, right, trying to out dancehall you or out hip hop you, and Naipo call us mimic man. That's what we do well.
Question, as we wrapping up. So, I mean, I know that you are an artist yourself, but would you be opposed to, let's say, producing
and mentoring
or mentoring? But I want to more say produce a younger artist who may want to go in the rap direction. What could be the process for that?
Yeah, I'm very much open to that. I mean, I mentor a lot of people and give advice, and advice is there to be taken or not, right?
Yeah.
I mean, one of the roles I try to help most young artists with is what an A&R would do. Who are you? What's your identity? What's your sound? What's your message? What's your POV?
Right.
And when people see you, does it match what they hear? Do they look at you and they have a sense of your politics just from a glance? I was reading recently that the glance, that first impression is it. Mm-hmm. You could do whatever you want after that. So when you present yourself, I was talking to a young man the other day, real voice, real talent, but he not taking care of himself.
Have an identity.
No, he's literally not taking care of himself. He's
shit.
looking half a vagrant, and somebody tell him so, and he's like, "I looking like how?" I say, "Yes." How you could say that? I say, because you asked me.
Yeah.
And you want me to lie?
Yeah.
They want you to lie. They want you to lie.
Don't come by me then.
No, but apart from that, I think what Casey was trying to also say, it's actually being hands-on with an artist, because one of the things that really mystified me is the fact that these big artists, like from Sparrow to
everybody,
they didn't take the artist and made a fucking bridge for them, because they knew all of the promoters, they knew the whole carnival circuit. Because what's baffling to me is people still think that Nyla, Ola, Kest, all these people are doing big fucking things when no Negroes. They are tapping into an old circuit that has been around since Thy Kingdom come.
Well, it's a circuit that affords 10 people to have a good season.
And it's a circuit that has been around for a very long time. The only difference is they have social media to broadcast the circuit and show the average person this is what's going on.
Well, I was happy. We came into the business back then. We got a hit song. Our very first song was a mega hit.
Yeah.
We had BET. It was on BET. When we got to Brooklyn, people was hailing us out. Busta Rhymes was hailing us out, right?
Wow.
Look at the video that Busta made right after that was people painted up in blue.
Wow.
Right? So it's just a question of market penetration and the ability to be out there and to be seen. Then BET collapsed because of lack of funding from the Caribbean and whatnot. They're trying to promote Caribbean stuff and there was no funding for the Caribbean stuff.
Yeah.
But the point I'm trying to make is that we got something that a lot of people give everything in their life for. And it afforded us to see that soca is the most insecure art form and I've experienced quite a few art forms.
Soca Calypso? Because I know
the whole industry, this whole big song. If you don't have a big song this year, you don't eat a food.
Yeah,
So we did that for 4 years. Unfortunately, we had sufficiently big songs to afford us to travel through the diaspora from Blue to Talk Your Talk.
Yeah.
And then at the end of Talk Your Talk, and that was the year we did Soca Monarch. We do everything that year. We went all over the world. We make money, we traveled, we never hardly unpacked a suitcase, and we said, we good. That is not our scene. And the next year we went to London. We hooked up with a friend there. She booked us gigs. We started to do festivals, started to do longer gigs. We could have band African musicians and just feel what it is to just, without that pressure of
float on the free.
just vibes and sing different songs and whatnot. And first, we made that decision. So people say, I ain't seen all you in the fete. I don't want to be in a fete singing.
Yeah.
I don't. I do not. We've experienced it. I know what it is like.
Right.
That's not joyful experience for me.
Yeah, but most of these artists are coming from a really poor background.
Well,
so
everybody to their own order, but I'm saying is you have to know yourself and you have to make choices for yourself. So one of the things, I'm not coming to tell anybody how to do what they're doing,
No, you should.
That's why I'm saying
you should, because most of them are amateurs.
Boss, nobody have time for that. Just be.
Good point.
Be the example.
Yep.
Yeah.
Right? I can't come and who's me to tell you, boy, do this, do that. You. Who the you? Me ain't give a fuck. You gotta be people ignorant out here. So you can't come and just be more ignorant than them. That's not gonna be anything. Just be the example, and if you want to take it, well, so be it. How much people come around after they get away with you and say, boy,
Yeah,
yeah,
cash
you're
up
true.
spoon.
You're right. Yeah.
Wendell,
Yeah?
3CANAL ever perform a cover song?
Yeah. We did Umbayao early on. We did Irie Tempo. We do songs that we like, songs that meant a lot to us.
No, but that's the
Umbayao.
thing. Like in all your performances, I've never seen you all actually do a cover now.
You mean like sing a
Like a
contemporaries?
Kes?
No,
Oh.
why? We're not Kes.
Man, say why?
No, like a cover
Man,
song.
say why?
I never see it.
Yeah, we covering Lancelot Lane, Blow Away this year.
Nice.
We've done
nice.
Blow Away. Yeah, I mean, I would song like a ass trying to sing Kes. I'm not a singer like that, if you know what I'm saying. You
Yeah.
gotta know yourself. You
So-
gotta know your vibes, know your strengths. Kes can't do what I do, I can't do what Kes do, but we have mad respect for each other.
Blessing, yeah.
So what is Wendell Manwarren's favorite 3CANAL? Well, I wouldn't say favorite. I would say which 3CANAL song resonates the most with you?
That's a tough one.
Yeah.
Because we have a lot of songs.
I know.
I mean, Blue will always be a special song because, as I say, it gave birth to us.
Right.
And it's afforded us to be in this game for a quarter century now, almost.
Yeah.
And to, touch all kind of places and see all kind of things. And
And you mentioned Talk It Talk.
Talk will always be
I love
special
them
too because they
lyrics in
wanted
that
to
song,
ban
you know.
it. And, we had a good fight on our hands that year and it
Are you
worked in our
familiar
favor.
with Carl Lagerfeld?
Of course, yeah.
Carl Lagerfeld said in an interview, and it has always stayed with me. I'm an interviewer. Ask him, so what's your favorite piece? And he watched her dead in her eyes, and he was like, all of them.
Yeah.
She was like, why? Because and he was like, if I didn't like any of them, I wouldn't put them out.
But you,
Oh, all right. So let me change it up. Let me change it up then.
Nah, dog.
So
you
here,
got myself
here.
curry.
So
Wait.
who would have been your favorite producer?
oh, yeah.
Ah. You're trying to get him out of trouble.
You understand?
Nah, that's easy. Shell shock.
Very easy.
Sheldon Shell shock.
Why?
Benjamin.
Why? So I'm the trust
Wow,
you.
my pause raise.
Shall give any vibes that you
Pause
wanted.
raise, yeah. No, Shell shock was a genius and he was very intolerant of stupidness.
Wow.
And if you wasn't strong, you wouldn't survive around him. And what I appreciated is that, when he worked with us, he crafted a song for us. When he worked with Marshall, he crafted a song. It wasn't like, that's a Shell shock beat, take it or leave it.
Yeah.
When he came with
A lot of
Good Morning
producers
Neighbor,
like that. Yep.
it was like, put in the beat. The song was written in 2/2s because it was for us. He knew
Wow.
exactly what he was doing.
Tone, textures, feel.
Everything.
Yeah.
Did
So
it
you
so
all would have worked in Caribbean song basin as
We
well?
worked in Caribbean Sound
Because
Basin.
that's something our generation never really got now, like actually
Yeah.
working in a professional studio.
And that first year we worked with Shell Shock. What Shell Shock did was whoever was working with him at the time had to come to the sessions. So he wanted everybody there 10 in the morning, whether he working on your song or not. And
Wow.
it was like camp. And we were young, so it was like, okay, this is cool by me. And we ended up singing on everybody's song. And,
That's somebody Motown model.
yeah, it was very much a Motown scene. And that was the tail end of a Caribbean Sound Basin. And then Richards came and filled the void
Yeah.
with the yard.
So
and-
y'all would have worked with like Sean, Poland, Dexter
yeah, we
Simmons.
worked with Sean. We worked with
Sean is trouble, but Sean
Work with
still Sean
Dexter.
teaching in UTC. He is a no nonsense type of guy.
We work with Mice, we work with Beaver,
Yeah, all them
we work with
guys.
Samuel Jack.
Yep.
We work before Mary was a producer, the man called Shaft, before he was the biggest songwriter in soca. It was a little fella just off the street wearing his father clothes because he didn't have no fancy clothes and always in that 70s style. And I remember the first time Shaft sat down behind the rhythm machine, he didn't even know what he was doing. Next thing he had a beat, we had a rhythm.
Wow.
Because the yard, the environment afforded it, It was like everybody was, it was a creative environment. And anybody had an idea for a song. Like when Mungle was doing his album, they brought down Nitin Sawhney, English producer, but Mungle not liming in with him 24, so we ended up liming with him. And when Mungle session done, we sit down and talk. Next time we went to London, we recorded a track with him. When they brought the guys from the refugee camp here to work with whoever, I think it was Resistance, we ended up working with them. I went to Connecticut and worked with them. So it's been just by being open and being kind of there, ready for anything. And one of the first things we did was after we signed with Rituals is like, we don't know anything about this business. So we changed the contract to an artist development contract. And what it is afforded us to record like about 200 songs
Wow.
in that 5 years and to work with a range of producers,
Yeah, to figure out your song.
to figure out our song. When they flew us to New York to meet with Shell Shock, he's like, I want to work with all you. I like Blue. And that was it, He's like, to get that kind of access and that immediate, I want to work with all you. I like your vibe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, anything you want to say as we wrap up?
No, I believe that we are a very rich culture, but I believe that we are at a very critical point in our existence as a society where if we don't really take steps to do like what we're doing here, have the conversations we're having, to disagree and come around and agree, to understand that, you know, a lot of us, as I say, have legitimate grounds for grousing and for being vexed. And it's just to give it a hearing and to hear the other man out. But I go right back to Lancelot Lane. Yeah, that idea of knowledge of self is the beginning of transforming self, is the beginning of transforming the society. Yeah, because that knowledge of self is on a personal and a societal level.
Yeah.
The history, your family tree. I always ask people, where you come from? What area you come from?
Who, me?
Yeah.
Trinidad.
No, what part of Trinidad?
I prefer not to say.
You prefer not to say? What part of Trinidad are you from? South, you say?
Gasparilla.
Gasparilla.
Yeah, man.
Well, first of all, Gasparilla sound like Spanish, right?
Yeah.
Right. So it start we can start from there, right?
Yeah.
Then we can start figuring out how we get our name, what the community like, and then before you know it, you have a story.
But here's the thing, like,
And
listening,
once you have a story, boom, you start to boom up history.
but listening
Boom
to
up
Lancelot
history.
history.
That's what we
Whoa,
talk
big
about.
song. Big song.
But listening to Lancelot Lane, he have a lot of Kemetic ideologies. Like, it's all counter Christianity and your white interpretation of
Well,
old
that was
Sanskrit.
that's where Lancelot
And
Lane was
he's-
at, yeah. And then the Ren Resistance, they came and started singing about the black plight of the black man and the ghetto and the sufferer and whatnot. When it was our turn to make rap, so I was like, do we have to sing about that? And I was like, no, well, you don't have to sing about that specifically. It have other forms of liberation.
Yeah.
That we still fighting to liberate self.
Like how men still singing about soca and it had to
Right.
be a wine and
So
jam song.
you had to find your voice, you had to find your cause, you had to find that thing that when you speak to it, people say, yeah, boy, that man. As I say, I know I'm not Kess. I'm not fooling my fat. I'm not trying to be in that zone, right? I know who I am. I stand firm and I stand strong to that. I've come to a sense of who I am in time, and I could speak with strength and authority from that place.
So when did
yeah.
you reach this
Alright,
place? At what
alright.
age? Oh, wait, one more question.
And you
Like,
come to boom up history.
like
Warm-up
when
history is crucial.
when did you reach to this level of awareness? At what age?
It's ongoing. But I remember the desire to know more was very much implanted in me from the time I started in the tent and started traveling and having to explain who you are and where you're from to certain people because what I was doing was specific to where I was from. You
Your
understand?
narrative.
Yeah, I'm not an accountant. You understand? An accountant is an accountant is an accountant. I am representing Trinidad and Tobago culture, specifically Rapso, Mass, Juve. All those things are very specific to us. So it behoves me to understand what it is I represent in. And that's all I've just spent my life,
Studying.
studying. You should see my library.
We
I don't
definitely
take
wanna
these
see that
things for
library.
granted, you know.
Because we went to Choki the other day, and Choki Library is incredible. It's
You
like
have
a
to.
room probably like from here to there, but it's like those old prehistoric libraries with just walls and just books.
So when
and
I met Steve
pictures.
Woodett, he had a library, and I was like, you know what? I want a library.
Me too. I want a
And you
library.
realize, well, my grandfather was a reader, my father was a reader, so that reading habit was always in me. But that idea of seeking knowledge and seeking a specific kind of knowledge. So in when I was on my religious quest, everything from Rastafari to Buddhism to Shango, Orisha, because it's all there. And then you make up your mind and say, God is love.
Yeah,
So
man.
I believe in love. I write that song.
Yeah,
There you go.
yeah,
Tonight
I
we sing love.
believe,
And when
I
I sing, I
believe.
believe in love. I
Where-
believe it.
where
And
you at
better
tonight?
believe it. Tonight, in the big black box, with our final backyard jam for the season.
Nice, man.
So, you know, I mean, and that is the thing, to come around and realize, wait, now I'm real comfortable singing for 300 people,
Yeah.
you know. I real comfortable. After that, you're shouting.
Yeah.
You're just, a big arena, you're just bawling down the place, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, because
So,
300 people is like,
Yeah.
sure there was 300 people locked on there as opposed to 500,000 people just doing whatever.
but it's just that ability to know what it is you like from what you don't like and to say, yeah, we good. Unfortunately for us, I say us because it's not me alone, and I have worked with two other very strong-willed personalities. So if we had like fundamental differences on that level, it would not survive this long. But
Yeah.
I think that's the thing that's why we're still around, because we do agree on lots of other
And the
things.
maturity.
Yeah, and we started in this business
Together.
way older than most people.
Actually, Casey and I have a theory about that. Like most artists who reach their pinnacle of just that state of being, back like in the 80s and the 90s, the artists would be a hell of a lot more older when they come out to the public because they don't already see, well, they don't already ripe, for lack of a better term. But a lot of these artists who are coming out at a very young age, they tend to be very self-destructive. The music is very garbagey. Like, it's just a whole set of
Don't say garbage, no. Say,
Well, you spoke to the fact that, it's
Because they
a
don't know who
team.
they are. There's
I always
a
ask
team,
people,
it's a team.
who are these successful artists in Trinidad? If you say Marshall, if you say Kester, if you say whatever, look, they have a team. They have management. That's a beginning. To have management is crucial.
In all fairness, that will call it time, because I have a kid by the name of Austin Brown, who is Michael Jackson's nephew. He had like the best team, and that nigga's, I don't want to say he's garbage, but he just couldn't stick on the wall for nothing.
Because he was inherently shitty.
No, he's actually a pretty good singer. He's a good singer. Like, if you look at the Billboard charts, it have real garbage on the Billboard charts.
They have real good singers out there,
Yeah,
but not everybody's going to be a star.
very good. True.
attitude and a lot of other things determine that.
There are real proficient people out there, but as you look at the draw, that's how it is.
And they have it, so you don't have it.
You have it. You see people, they say they have that X factor, or that je ne sais quoi or something. You see some people take a stage, or I also see, I've seen people grow as well. I believe growth is possible, yeah.
So being a star is something you can learn.
You still have to have that inherent
spark.
You have to have the spark. That's
All
what
right,
Cirque du Soleil calls it, the spark. That's what they look for in their performance.
Zane, take we out there. Take we out.
So this was episode number 2. We had the legendary, the honorable.
Custom,
Wendell
sorry for
Give him a
Manwarren.
next title now. Give him a next title now.
The
Basic
man.
Belmont boy.
Blue boss.
Yeah, the blue
Blue
boss.
boss.
The blue boss in the house.
Make sure and talk your talk.
Yeah.
And walk your walk.
You know what I like to close out to? I love how every single song that you have, every title, you're practicing it in your life. You believe in love.
Yeah.
Can you give us an acapella?
And it's like good morning. I'll use good morning as an example, right?
Yeah.
I in real trouble because I have to tell people good morning. You know what I mean? And I just have to check myself when I notice I'm passing and not saying good morning.
Yeah.
Right.
So I just have to make a conscious effort. That song was inspired by a young gentleman who Roger used to go and run with every morning. And no matter how many people he see, he would say good morning, good morning, good morning.
Morning,
And
neighbor.
growing up as a youth in Belmont,
How to say good
you
morning.
can't pass people and say good morning.
Backhand.
Say good morning, right? So, yes, you're right. What we write about is what is real to us.
Yeah.
Even if it's like the painful part of self, you find a way to turn that into something that anybody else could relate to. So,
So
You
when
know what? I would like,
going on?
Wendell, I would really like for you to come back and do a part 2.
Yeah.
Because I was
can we get a
telling
cappella
Devan-
from him as we closing? Can we get a cappella from him? Wendell, you mind?
Well, generally, I don't sing alone,
Well,
How
that's
about
why it's not just canal
shut.
that way. It's not canal, it's trick.
Yo! 1, 2, 3, 4.
Yeah.
All I'll be backing you up, man.
See? I'll do a little piece of good morning. What's going on? Please tell me what's going on. What's happening? Please tell me what's happening. Something gone wrong, like everything upside down, Lord. Right now, good bad is like this whole place gone mad. Every day is a hustle and a bustle. Everybody right now caught in just for space, in the race, trying to keep up the pace by the space. Everybody in a jam, we jamming, Lord, we jamming. Jamming for a better life, a better way of living. In the meantime, simple things we forgetting, like how to say good morning,
Morning, neighbor, morning.
M to the power 4.